This is CBS 2 News at 11.
So they are just some of the many COVID-19 patients that are now beginning to recover. But how exactly do you know when you are out of the woods? Here is CBS 2's Dick Brennan.
It was pretty brutal. It was a beast. It was a monster.
Russ Camarda is a video producer and actor, but never saw himself in this role. The guy suffering through more than 2 weeks of the coronavirus and fearing the worst.
It's the not knowing, whether you can keep this out of your lungs, what's going to happen if you don't. You're looking at reports about hospitals and everything, and you're saying, man, if I have to go into a hospital, am I coming out?
Anxiety, I think, is a big factor in this because there's the whole unknown.
Yvette Corporon has been forced to stay away from her family, but she hopes she's near the end.
It seems like no two stories are the same, no two experiences are the same. And we've all heard of stories of people who get better and then take a turn for the worst.
They're part of a group that's now coming out of the coronavirus.
It was much worse than I had ever imagined. It was probably my worst health experience in my life.
Dr. Jake Deutsch of Cure Urgent Care in Manhattan is a doctor and a patient. He's recovered from coronavirus and says, don't fall for all the misinformation.
Whether it's using a hairdryer or swallowing water frequently to not allow the virus to attach to the parts of our respiratory tract where it may invade our body, none of that is proven.
What do you recommend to people about how they know it's safe to, let's say, go back to work or at least be with their spouse or children?
So the recommendations for essential workers, healthcare workers, is 1 week from onset of symptoms, 3 days without fever. For the general population, our instructions are essentially 2 weeks after the onset of symptom, you're no longer considered infectious.
Those who've been through the ringers say, follow the rules.
This is not something you want to get, even under so-called mild circumstances.
I think the best thing to do is keep a positive outlook. The worst thing you can do is give in to anxiety and fear, because I think your immune system suffers as a result.
Words of wisdom from the road to recovery. Dick Brennan, CBS 2 News.